Hey guys, so today I'm going to be filming part 3 of my makeup collection. I'm going to be delving into contours and bronzers, also blushes, so stay tuned to see what I have tucked away in these drawers in relations to those things. Okay guys, so let's get into what I have tucked away in my drawers that are contour, bronzer, blush related. So I'm going to go into contour and bronzer as together because for me, I don't have things that are just contour and just bronzer, because for me, being a very pale, or like I say, pigmentally challenged person, for me, contour can actually just be a bronzer that's a little bit too dark for me, and that's what it usually ends up being. So in this section, I'm also going to include some of my face palettes, but let's go into contour first. So strictly contouring things would be this Park Avenue Princess contouring palette. This right here I got in a BoxyCharm. This was actually my first BoxyLuxe actually. It has all of your contouring shades, and then it has the lighter shades to kind of cut your contour with. It's very handy. I don't use it as much as I used to, but I am getting back in the habit of using it. But it is a very nice, handy thing. It's very sturdy packaging, very pretty packaging, but you know, packaging is not everything. The product inside is very good. Also, as far as contouring strictly, this Wet n Wild contouring duo, this is in Caramel Toffee. This is also a very beautiful contour for very fair skinned. And I'm catching a lot of glare. Okay. Sorry about that. It was like blinding me from this side. Now, on to just bronzers that I use for dual purposes. So I have a bunch of bronzing things. Like I use this Physicians Formula bronzer booster right here as a contour because these shades are too dark for me for bronzer. But that is what it looks like. And it has this very elongated brush right here. I use this for a contour instead of for a bronzer. Also, the things that I use for contour instead of bronzer would be these two Wet n Wild bronzers, the Queensland and the You're Dragging Me Down, because these are darker. They don't work for me for bronzers, but they work beautiful for contouring. Also, this Wet n Wild Palm Beach Ready is a very dark bronzer, so this will be a contour shade when I open it. I haven't opened this one yet, so that will be a very good contouring shade for me. One thing that I haven't touched in a while and probably won't really touch, well, I'll kind of put this away for a minute. That's more of a palette type thing. Now, strictly face palette things that I own that are tucked away over here is this Urban Decay Naked Skin. You guys have seen this on my channel a couple of times. This is new to my collection. This has contouring shades, the kind of lighter cutting shade, and then this has a highlighter down here. And then also it has the cream side over here with the contouring, the cutting shade, the color correctors, and then a cream highlighter. So this is new to my collection, but you guys have seen it a couple of times in other videos. Also, one of my all-time favorite face palettes is this Cover FX face palette, which has a contouring shade, the finishing powder, the blush, the two highlighters, and the brightening powder. This is wonderful. And then also this Tarteist Pro Glow, which has bronzers, highlighters, and blushes. This thing is beautiful. So those are my face palettes. I have a smaller face palette that I haven't touched in a long time, and I probably won't touch very often. It has like a blush shade, a highlighting shade, and a contouring shade, but they all have shimmer to them. Now this is a beautiful highlighting shade. Highlighting shade is beautiful, but these two other shades have too much shimmer to them, so I don't really use them that often. So yeah, this is a pure bronze and brighten face palette, so I don't really touch it that often anymore. Another face palette that I have is this e.l.f. Total Face Palette. It has a bronzer shade, which is a nice bronzer shade, and a highlighting shade, but this highlighting shade is so chalky that I just mix the bronzer and the highlighter together. It makes a very good bronzer. And I use these two for blush, but I mix them together to make an even blush shade. Now, on to my bronzers. I have this Ticket to Brazil from Wet n Wild, and then while a store was going out of business, I got 3 of these gigantic pans of Ticket to Brazil and 2 of these smaller Reserve Your Cabana, but these are so light that I can actually use these as like finishing powders, which they work really nice for. All of these are unopened, so I have these tucked away in the back for backups. This one I just opened, so I've been using this one lately. This one I'm going to have to kind of mash up because it's like right around the edges, and it's going to be a loose bronzer here soon. I've got a Sunset Striptease that I've got kind of mashed up right now. It's a little dark, so I kind of have to use it sparingly. But I have these 3 that are unopened, which is another Ticket to Brazil Sunset Striptease, which is darker, and I have to be very careful with it. And then the Palm Beach Ready, which I said is probably going to be a contouring shade for me. And those are unopened, so they're tucked away in the back of my drawers for like extras. From my Dollar Tree makeup challenge, I have this LA Colors Bronze Beauty shade, which actually turned out to be a really good bronzer. So I have that still. And then I have this Pacifica Sun-Kissed shade. It's pretty nice. It's actually a little too dark, so it'll probably end up being more of a contour shade. One of my favorite bronzers is from e.l.f. This is the Forever Sun-Kissed. This is a primer infused bronzer. It is beautiful. And I do believe that finished all of my bronzers. And it did. Okay, so for blushes, for a person that doesn't really like blush a whole lot, I actually have a whole lot of blushes, which is amazing. From Alamar Cosmetics, I got this in BoxyCharm. I have this blush trio. They are actually very nice. They're super spigmented, so you do have to be careful with them. But they go on beautifully. They last very long, and they don't like kind of cake up or like just splotch on. Right now I'm trying to pan my Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink blush, but I also have in the back of my blush drawer an unopened one because it was on sale. And I have this Rose Champagne color, which is like a nude color. This is probably going to turn into like just a large pan of base color eyeshadow for the color of it, because it's not really a blush color. Also from my BoxyCharm, I got this beautiful Laura Geller Baked Blush and Brighten in Tropic Hues. This is a beautiful blush. I love it very much. I have an e.l.f. Primer Infused blush. This is Always Cheeky. It's a very powdery formula, so you have to kind of be careful about how much you pick up, but it does wear very nice. I have a Maybelline Fit Me blush. This is in the shade Coral. It's also a very nice blush shade. And I have this Wet n Wild Ombre blush in the Princess Daiquiri shade. It has that nice ombre shade, and I just kind of like run my blush all through the colors and put it on. And this is a shade that I haven't really worn. This is from my Ulta Beauty like Christmas unboxing thing. This is Ulta Beauty Shimmer Blush. It's a very shimmery blush, and I don't really wear it because I don't want shimmer in my blush. But it's supposed to, like, it's a blush topper, I guess, for those that like shimmery blush. I don't really like a lot of blush on my cheeks, so yeah. Anyway, that concludes my contour, bronzer, face palette, blush section of my... Oh, well, I do have this. I forgot about this. For a natural kind of bronzer, I do use this e.l.f. They're these little e.l.f. like mineralized beads to just kind of warm up the inside of my face a little bit, because I am very pale, and when I do my makeup, the inside of my face is very pale. So I do have this as a more natural bronzer type shade, so that does go in this section as well. But that concludes the rest of the contour, bronzer, face palette, blush section of my collection. So then I'll move on to highlighters, and we'll get into eyebrows and that kind of stuff. So let me know by giving this video a thumbs up if you like it. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Ring that bell so that you're notified every single time I upload a video. And in the comment section down below, let me know what you think of the things that I have in my collection. What type of things do you have in your collection that fall under these categories? In the description box down below is my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, email, also my link for BoxyCharm. Like I said, things in this section that I got from BoxyCharm were things like this Park Avenue Princess palette from Tarte. I also got this Tarte Tarteist Pro Glow palette. And I also got this Alamar Cosmetics Blush Trio and this Laura Geller Baked Blush and Brighten Blush. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.